Well, here is my news story. It's from Dave Hodges from July 19th, 2020. Arizona governor is granted the right to forcibly vaccinate and indefinitely confine individuals with absolutely no legal oversight, folks. Beware, beware. Recently, Arizona alleged CV-19 victims were transported to what we would call FEMA medical martial law facilities, and it's not an isolated incident. Arizona's governor, Doug Ducey, has been given the authority to create, operate, and maintain concentration camps. The camps are allegedly for a deadly pathogen from which quarantine is determined to be needed. Yet it is the governor that makes the determination, not a medical board, not anybody in the healthcare system. In fact, they have nothing to do with it. The governor can say, you need to be put in a camp, and you get to go under this guise. So this is the creation of a medical martial law dictatorship, and it follows the HHS guidelines for ESF number 8-14. Celeste Solum has done an interview on this very issue, and if you don't know who she is, she used to work in this area and arena, and she says it is evil, folks. And Celeste Solum, you need to look her up, listen to some of her stuff. But presently in Arizona, and maybe your state as well, the state can imprison you for suspected symptoms, and they can forcibly vaccinate or force any treatment upon anyone. In short, governors are granting themselves the authority to have complete control over your freedom, over your body, and over your life. Guys, this is pretty wicked. Should we be surprised? No. The governor is the one that he doesn't even have. There doesn't have to be any health mandate. In fact, the people that have sort of set this up, Department of Agriculture, Commerce, Defense, Energy, Homeland Security, Department of the Interior, Justice, Labor, State, Transportation, Veterans Affairs, Protection Agency, General Service Administration, U.S. Agency for International Development, the U.S. Postal Service. None of them have anything to do with medical. Surprise, surprise. This thing isn't about CV-19, folks. It's not, because this isn't the real threat. It's about the government gaining control of you and your life and putting those who might be problem people away so they're no longer problems. So basically, this unconstitutional law is self-granting dictatorship. The person doesn't even have to be diagnosed with a dangerous pathogen. They simply could be exposed. They are clearly transported to a third-party site of an undetermined nature. Family may not visit. Medications will be controlled. And as we've witnessed with ARS 36-787, there is no established authority to provide diagnosis. It's an open-ended thing that we consider the fact that that is not just going to be misused as a potential abuse for political persecution. Folks, we need to get a hold of our governors too. And I'm talking about my own state. I have always supported our governor here in Texas, but what he's doing right now, I do not support, and it disappoints me greatly. But guys, what do they have over your governor that's causing them to do this? And this is something we need to consider when a politician fails to represent the people and they begin to fall in line with this people. There's something that somebody has over them. And that's what happens in Washington. You send somebody to Washington, the first thing they do, the powers that be, try to get them into a compromising position and then use it over them so that they can control their voting and what they do and what they say. And obviously it's happening. Can you imagine? You can be transported to a facility with a possibility, not a diagnosis. Although even if you had a diagnosis, guys, you shouldn't be taken out. And then I also hearken to the words of the WHO guy that I heard 2 months ago that said, guys, it may be time that we will come into your homes and take people out of your home because they pose a threat or a possible contaminant of the CV-19. Guys, CV-19 is less dangerous than so many other things. Oh my goodness.
Minority Report. Minority Report.
A Minority Report. There you go. Do you know I still have not seen that movie? Mark, come on in.
It's more applicable. It's more applicable for today than it was when it came out.
But can you imagine this, Mark? What do you think of people just being taken off and it's already happening into a facility for an undisclosed amount of time, not determined by a medical professional, but by a politician?
Well, hey, it's called pre-crime. Pre-crime. In other words, you all you have to do is look like you're committing a crime, and it's kind of along the same lines of committing a crime, but they're not going to enforce it unless somebody complains, So but they'll complain if they think you're going to do a crime, so they come out and make something up, whatever.
Well, and here's the deal: if you the supposed symptoms of CV-19 have expanded to almost everything. Now it's not just a cough. Of course, if you cough, you could have allergies. It could just be something in your throat. It could be a tickle like earlier, a cough, a sore throat, a headache. If you have a headache, Mark, you might have CV-19. Or if you throw up, you might have CV-19. Or if you run a slight fever, you might have CV-19. And we could go on. A little runny nose, a little sniffle, whatever it is. Any symptom is CV-19. There's the state, I can't remember, maybe it was Georgia, that just admitted that a guy died in a motorcycle crash. Guess what was on his death certificate? What? CV-19. And they admitted it. They said, yes, we did write down that the guy who died in the motorcycle wreck died of CV-19.
I'm sorry. I don't. Welcome to America. I think we should change the name of the show to Welcome to America.
Well, that probably could be a really good show name. Joe says arthritis is now considered. If you have arthritis, maybe you have CV-19. Wow.
I deal with my feet hurt all the time, and I probably CV. And literally, I mean, this is true for the past. Oh, maybe I shouldn't say this publicly, because they'll probably be knocking at my door. But for the past 4 days, I have had a little bit of a sore throat and a tooth that seems like it's infected. And so I think I should go down and get tested.
No. Folks, I don't care how you feel. Do not go get tested. You get put in the database. They manipulate the data. And then if you go down, do not tell them who you've been around or whatever. Don't do that, guys, because remember, they multiply everything by 16, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And did you know sore throats now? A lot of people, because of the mask wearing and things like that, and you're breathing in the mold and things, because mold begins to develop within 20 minutes of wearing a mask, and you're breathing that stuff in, you're covered, you're breathing in your waste from your mouth, and now you're getting symptoms, respiratory symptoms from wearing the mask, guys.
Hold up, wait. That didn't take long. My doorbell's ringing. I think they're here. They heard me say that. They've come to test me. They're going to test this right here on my front.
Do not give, you have control of your body. Do not ever, Mark, and I know you wouldn't. I know you're playing, but you don't get a vaccine and you don't let them test you. If you're dealing with something, you know what? Go get some sun. Take some zinc if you think that zinc is good. I've taken zinc even before this. Guys, just
there's a testing place 3 blocks away. I can walk down there.
Somebody contacted John yesterday and they said, so-and-so came in and they tested positive, which remember, most pest positives are false positives. So they tested positive. So I'm thinking about getting tested. And John was like, do not do that. Are you showing any symptoms? No. Is he? No.
I'll be right back. I want to go get something real quick. I'll be right back.
All right. Okay, folks, I know we've been talking a lot about this, but guys, it is literally affecting our society. I know we have people that are even being infected. It's a mental health thing too, in that you're bombarded with all of this and this martial law type state, and people are being affected by it.
So can you read this sign on here?
New realities. Oh, vote center. This is not a COVID-19 testing site.
Why would you have to add that to the sign?
I have no idea.
It's a vote center. It's where you go to vote. Why would you have to add that to the stinking sign?
I have no idea.
I saw that in the article, and I couldn't get past. I couldn't read the article. I couldn't get past the picture. It's like, what?
What is it about?
By the way, that was, in case anybody wants to know, that's in the AARP newest edition. So,
you know why we will never be a part of AARP, right?
I knew that. I already knew that before I brought it up here and said anything. But go ahead.
Because they are a liberal voting bloc, and you don't. We won't participate in that. So,
but they have such great articles.
Oh, whatever.
For old people, you know. So.
I don't care. Not doing it. They have financial benefits too. But for us, the political part of what they do outweighs the financial benefits.
We are richly blessed to bring you what we believe is the fullest, most diverse, yet up-to-date progressive teachings, discussion, and prayer programming you can find anywhere on this planet. Be sure to take the tour of the MessianicLambRadio.com website. I'm Susan Hoogie, thanking you for joining us on the Messianic Lamb Video Network.